Hello, Unit 13, Great Works of Engineering. Answer these questions. Question A. Would you enjoy traveling on this train to Lhasa? Why or why not? Question B. What are the advantages and disadvantages of traveling by train rather than flying? Exercise 2, page 81, student book. Discuss this question in pairs. Look at the pictures. Why do you think building a railway line in this area was very difficult? Exercise 4, page 81, student book. Guess the meanings of the highlighted phrases from the listening. Sentence A. The line was built in 2 stages. Guess the meaning of stages. Stages means states or levels that someone or something reaches in a process. Sentence B. Half the line is over 4,000 meters above sea level. Guess the meaning of sea level. Sea level means the average level of the sea, used as a standard for measuring the height of an area of land. Exercise 4. Sentence C. The line is built on frozen ground. Guess the meaning of frozen ground. Frozen ground means ground that is hard because the temperature is below zero. It has become hard like ice. Listen and check your answers to exercise number 2. Tape script. Presenter. Our program today is about the highest railway line in the world, the China to Tibet Railway. In our studio we have Michael Chin, a railway engineering expert. If you have any questions you would like to ask our expert this morning, phone us and we'll do our best to answer them. Our first caller today is Khalid, who is phoning from Cairo. What's your question, Khalid? Khalid, good morning. I'd like to know some facts about the railway. How long is this line and when was it built? Mr. Chin. Hi, Khalid. Well, the line was built in 2 stages. The first stage, which was started in 1951, did not open until 1984. This stage is 815 kilometers long. The second stage is another 1,142 kilometers long. This stage was opened in 2006. Khalid, thanks. Can I ask you for one more fact? Presenter. Yes, of course. Khalid, I know this is the highest railway line in the world, but exactly how high is it? Mr. Chin, well, about half the line is over 4,000 meters above sea level, and at its highest point, the Tangwala Pass, it's 5,072 meters. At this altitude, the air is very thin, so all the passengers are given a supply of oxygen. Khalid, really? That's amazing. That's like being on a plane. Mr. Chin, that's right. Presenter, thanks Khalid. Our next caller is Rami from Alexandria. What's your question, Rami? Rami, hello. I'd like to know how difficult it was for engineers to build this railway. Mr. Chin, that's a good question. It was extremely difficult. One of the main problems for the engineers was that over 500 kilometers of the line is built on permanently frozen ground. This includes a tunnel which is 1,338 meters long. To make this tunnel, they had to cut through frozen earth. The line also includes 675 bridges. In all, 20,000 people worked on the line. Rami, thanks, that's incredible. Presenter, our last caller is Magdi from Suez. What would you like to know, Magdi? Magdi, good morning. I'd like to know about traveling on this railway. Where does it start and end? Sachin, well, Magdi, the line starts in Xing in China and ends in Lhasa, the capital of Tibet. Trains run every day to Lhasa. Altogether, there are 45 stations. Passengers are carried at 120 kilometers an hour by trains specially built for high altitude. Magdi, thanks very much. Presenter, okay, that's all we have time for today. Thanks to all those who called us, and a special thanks to our expert Michael Chin. Exercise 5, student book, page 81. Listen again and complete these sentences with the correct number or date. 2006, 120, 5,072, 675, 1951, 45, 815. Sentence A. They started building the first stage of the Tibet Railway in. The answer is 1951. Sentence B. Sentence B. The first stage of the line is 815 kilometers long. Sentence C. The second stage of the railway was opened in 2006. The Tangwala Pass is 5,072 meters above sea level. There are 675 bridges on the line. Sentence F. There are 45 stations on the line. Sentence G. The trains travel at 120 kilometers an hour. Vocabulary: altitude, permanently, run, supply, affect, charge, operate, section. Grammar. Sentence 1. The railway line was built in 2 stages. Sentence 2. Over 500 kilometers of the line is built on permanently frozen ground. Grammar: passive verb, past and present. Student book, page 82, exercise 1. Grammar: passive verbs, past and present. Exercise number 1. Circle all the passive verbs in these sentences from the listening text. One is not passive. Sentence A. The line was built in 2 stages. Where is the passive verb here? The passive verb here is was built. With what tense? Past simple. Sentence B. This stage was opened in 2006. Where is the passive verb here? The passive verb here is was opened. Which tense? Past simple. Sentence C. All the passengers are given a supply of oxygen. Where is the passive verb here? The passive verb here is are given. Sentence D. Over 500 kilometers of the line is built on permanently frozen ground. Where is the passive verb here? The passive verb here is built. Sentence E. The line also includes 675 fridges. This sentence does not include any passive verb. Passengers are carried at 120 kilometers an hour by a train specially built for high altitude. Where is the passive verb here? The passive verb here is are carried. Exercise 2, student book, page 82. Discuss these questions in pairs. Sentence A or question A. Look at sentences from A to F. What tense is the passive verb, past or present? Student book, page 82. Discuss these questions in pairs. Who or what does the action of the passive verb in sentence F? Question A. Look at the sentences from A to F. What tense is the passive verb, past or present? Sentence A. The line was built in 2 stages, past simple. Sentence B. The stage was opened in 2006, past simple. Sentence C. All the passengers are given a supply of oxygen, present simple. Over 500. Sentence D. Over 500 kilometers of the line is built on permanently frozen ground, present simple. Sentence F. Passengers are carried at 120 kilometers an hour by train specially built for high altitude, present simple, are carried. Question B. Which sentence above does not have a passive verb? Sentence E. The line also includes 675 fridges. It does not include any passive verb. Question C. How is this sentence different from the sentences with a passive verb? It is an active voice. It's not a passive voice. It does not have a form of the verb to be or past participle. Question D. Who or what does the action of the passive verb in sentence F? Who or what does the action of the passive verb in sentence F? Passengers are carried at 120 kilometers an hour by trains specially built for high altitude. So, what does the action in this sentence is trains specially built for high altitude. Sentence E. Can you guess who does the action in sentence C? All the passengers are given a supply of oxygens. Maybe the workers on the train, the people who work on the train or at the train stations. Question F. How are passive verbs formed? Using verb to be with past participle of the active verb. Main ideas of the reading text. Suez Canal. Main idea number 1. What was the first canal to link the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea? Number 2, starting to work on a new canal in 1858. Number 3, Suez Canal immediately affected world business. Number 4, nationalizing Suez Canal. Number 5, charging ships. Number 6, opening a new section. The Suez Canal. Student book, page 83. Reading. Exercise number 1. Before you read, discuss what you know about the Suez Canal in pairs. Write 4 facts. Exercise number 2. Check the meanings of these words in your dictionary. Affect, charge, operate, section. Affect means to cause a change in someone or something. Charge. Charge means to ask someone to pay a particular amount of money for something. Operate means to manage and control a business. Section means one of the parts that an object, group, place, etc. is divided into. Effect, to cause a change in someone or something. Charge, to ask someone to pay a particular amount of money for something. Operate, to manage and control a business. Section, one of the part that an object, group, place, etc. is divided into. The Suez Canal. Reading. For thousands of years, people had wanted to link the Mediterranean Sea and the Red Sea to shorten the sea journey from the west to the east. First canal was built in around 1300 BCE, but it was not taken care of and it was not used after the 8th century. In 1858, a French engineer called Ferdinand de Lesseps and the Egyptian government started work on a new canal. When the 164-kilometer long canal was opened in 1869, it had cost $100,000. At first, the Universal Suez Ship Canal Company operated the canal. The company was given the right to operate the canal for 99 years. World business was immediately affected by the opening of the canal. Things were moved by ship much faster than before. When the ships had to sail around Africa, the journey from Europe to Asia was shortened by 9,500 kilometers and by 20 days. The Suez Canal is one of the world's most important waterways. It was taken over by Egypt in 1956 and is now used by about 50 ships every day. In most places, the canal is only wide enough for one ship, but there are passing places, which mean that ships can travel in both directions at the same time. Each ship takes between 11 and 16 hours to pass through the canal. The canal is now operated by the Suez Canal Authority and ships are charged to use the waterway. This money is an important income for Egypt. A new 35-kilometer section of the canal was opened in 2015. It was built to help modern ships, which are much bigger than the past. Answer these questions to guess the meanings of the new words. If you shorten something, do you make it bigger or shorter? You make it shorter. B. Canal is one of the kind of waterway. Can you think of others? Rivers and streams. C. If you take something over, do you lose or win control? You will control. D is income, money you earn or money you spend. money you earn. Exercise 5, student book, page 83. Read again. Are these sentences are true or false? Correct the false sentences. Sentence A. The first Suez Canal was built in the 19th century. False. It was built in around 1300 BCE. B. A French engineer and the Egyptian government work on the Suez Canal. True. Sentence C. The canal cut the length of the journey from the west to the east by 2 weeks. False. The journey was cut by nearly 3 weeks. D. Ships have to pay to use the canal. D. Ships have to pay to use the canal. True. Student book, page 84. Critical thinking. Exercise number 1. Read the text and discuss these questions in verse. Things were moved by ship much faster than before. When the ships had to sail around Africa, the journey from Europe to Asia was shortened by 9,500 kilometers and by 20 days. Question A. Why do so many ships travel between Europe and Asia? Maybe there is an important trade between the East and the West in spices, tea, fruit, oil, etc. Question B. Why was it so important to shorten the journey between these two parts of the world? Maybe ships would otherwise have to go round the whole of Africa, a dangerous and lengthy journey. This was even more important if the cargo being carried was perishable like fruit or dangerous like oil. C. What kind of things do you think the ships carry today? Many things such as machines, toys, cars, computers, fridges, TVs, food and drink. Student book, page 84, exercise 2. Read about 3 more great works of engineering and discuss these questions in pairs. Question A. What is special about these 3 great works of engineers? Great Wall of China, Lighthouse of Alexandria, Aswan High Dam. Great Wall of China is a massive engineering work of great length. Lighthouse of Alexandria, very high, built in the sea. Aswan High Dam, a massive, complex engineering work. B. Why were they built? Great Wall of China was built to protect China and its people from invaders. Lighthouse of Alexandria was built to warn ships. Aswan High Dam was built to control water in the Nile to prevent flood and as an important source of hydroelectric power. C. Who did they help? Great Wall of China helped Chinese people. Lighthouse of Alexandria helped sailors on ships. Complete the sentences with the correct words. Altitude, frozen, oxygen, permanently, run, sea level, stages, supply. Sentence A. He does not like that restaurant because it always uses frozen food. Sentence B. What space does the plane fly at? What altitude does the plane fly at? Sentence C. Mount Everest is nearly 9,000 meters above what? Above sea level. Sentence D. At this height, climbers need what? Or they cannot breathe easily. They need oxygen. Sentence E. The temperature is space below zero at the top of Everest. Temperature is permanently below zero at the top of Everest. Sentence F. How often do the buses space to the center of the town from here? How often do buses run to the center of the town from here? Sentence G. Take a good supply of water when you go to the desert. Sentence H. It is difficult to build a bridge quickly, so engineers usually build it in what? In stages. Excellent. Workbook page 78. Exercise number 1. Find and correct the mistakes in these sentences. Sentence A. Her parents is employed by the government. Where the mistake? Parents is. What is the correction? Parents are. Sentence B. That company was operated the canal for 99 years. The company, where the mistake? Operated. Active voice. Sentence C. The company is taken over by the government in 2007. Where is the mistake? The company was taken over by the government. Was taken, not is taken. Sentence D. Who was this book wrote by? Where is the mistake? Wrote by. What is the correction? Who was this book written by? Sentence E. The lighthouse was built in the last century. Where the mistake? Was built. What is the correction? The lighthouse was built, B-U-I-L-T, in the last century. Workbook page 78, exercise number 2. Complete the sentences with the correct passive form of the verbs in brackets. Sentence A. The Suez Canal use about 50 ships a day. So, what is the answer? The Suez Canal is used. Sentence B. You not charged to visit most museums in London. What is the answer? You. Sentence B. You not charged to visit most museums in London. What is the answer? You are not charged. You are not charged. Sentence C. The pyramids visited by millions of tourists every year. So what is the answer? The pyramids are visited. Sentence D. Do you know when the Great Wall of China built? What is the answer? Do you know when the Great Wall of China was built? Sentence E. That book writes in 1970. What is the answer? That book was written in 1970. Excellent. Exercise number 3. Write a short text about the following. Imagine you are the important engineer that you research in the student's book. Write about the work that you have done. Give some advice to students who want to become engineers. Home assignment. Research the names of some famous engineers in Egypt. Choose one to research further. Find out information about their background, what kind of work they are famous for, where you can see examples of their work. Thank you. See you next time. Bye bye.